breaking down Lubbock Cooper sports. This is the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back into the High School Fan Zone on Wednesday night. We're going to jump immediately into the Pirate Fan Zone because I've got two soccer coaches, two for the price of one here. We're very soccer heavy until the last segment when Parker Hicks gets here to talk basketball. I've got Trevor Burkhead here and Reilly Gwin. I'm going to let you guys explain the transition here because I'm looking at your final match from last year. You were both on the sideline. That's going to sound a little confusing to people. So Trevor, take it away.
Yeah, so this will be my 10th year at Cooper. So the last 9 years I was the boys head coach. In the last 6 years, Reilly was with me as my assistant. And we had the opportunity where I switched over to the girls and he stepped up and took that head coach role for the boys. So it was a very easy, smooth transition for both of us, all the kids. So it was the right timing as well.
And both of you are inherited. The cupboard wasn't bare for either one of you. You both inherited pretty solid programs on very solid footing.
Yeah, for sure. Our girls, we're pretty senior heavy, so they've had some experience. That's that freshman group that went to the regional tournament their freshman year, so they have some experience in some big games, and boys as well.
Reilly, why I could kind of guess this, but I'm going to let you say, why did the job appeal to you? I guess you probably could have slid over and coached girls with Trevor here, but why did the boys' job appeal to you?
Right. It just felt natural to take over the boys. I've known them forever, and again, just another good core to take over. A lot of those guys were the main core in what we were doing last year and a lot of the success we had late in the year. And it's just been my dream since I've been at Cooper to take over that spot eventually. So I knew I had to jump at that opportunity as quick as I could.
And I'm going to give a shout out to Max Catwinkle here because Max is very good at knowing the right people that fit the right jobs. And
yes,
I think
for sure.
He knew what was going on when the changes needed to be made. Bridget, I want to make sure I say her last name. I'm going to call her by her maiden name if
I still struggle. I still call her Jenkins sometimes,
okay,
but it is Rogers.
Bridget Rogers.
Yep.
And she had to go do some mom stuff because she's got a lot of little ones at home. Twins, right? Her last.
Yep. So she has 3 now. Yeah.
Bless her and her husband's hearts because I remember teasing my wife once saying I'd like to have twins, and then I saw a couple people with twins. I was like, I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, you've got some youngins at home too.
I have one daughter that's she's 5 years old.
Yeah. And you're training her to be a Virginia Tech fan.
And she already is. Fine. And you should see her every time Sunday's on. This year was kind of rough, but she sings that Miami Dolphins #1 song every Sunday. So I don't know if it's brainwashing or not, but
hey,
she rolls with it, so I'm happy with it.
I've got 2 children that are living in the Kansas City Chiefs golden era right now. So I totally understand. Reilly, do you have any little Gwins at home yet?
Not just yet. We have one coming in April. A little girl, Holland.
So you've got to make sure you time that right. That's very smart for a young coach to make sure your season's done by the time.
Absolutely, perfect timing on that. So we're beyond thrilled. We're so excited.
So you guys both got the season started this last week.
Yes.
I'm going to let Reilly go first. Tell me what your guys did opening weekend.
So opening weekend, we started off with a match in Midland against Legacy now. So it was kind of special for me getting to go back to my hometown, play against my school that I graduated from, and in the same stadium, and take a win home. It was really special for me as a first win. And then we headed down to Fort Worth. Joshua played 3 good teams, got 3 good results. And I was just so proud of how hard the boys competed all weekend, especially defensively, not giving up a goal, keeping their shape, just being very, very disciplined the entire weekend. So just nothing but positives came out of the weekend. Super excited for what's to come after that.
And that had kind of become your MO the last couple of years, was being a very good defensive team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's obviously carried over. I'm sure there's some similarities in the way you guys coach. I'm going to let you answer this, Trevor. I don't know if you've seen their team play yet, but what differences has Reilly brought? Actually, we're coming up on a break. I'm going to bring that back up.
Okay.
But real quick,
I got a good answer. Yeah.
What have your girls done so far this season?
We just started this past weekend in Abilene. We played 3 games, and we went 1-1-1. So it was a decent weekend. And then we played a game last night against Legacy, 0-0 draw, but it was a good match back and forth.
So you took that defense over the girls as well.
Yeah.
So you're coaching some defense over
sir.
there.
Yep.
We'll come back after the break and let you kind of give me your thoughts. And then, Reilly, I'm going to let you flip the script and let you talk about what he's done with the girls program already. So, reminder, this is the Wednesday night high school fan zone. We're already knocked out Friendship. We're in the Pirate fan zone. We'll be back with the Patriot fan zone after this, but we've got one more segment with Lubbock Cooper after this break.
Diving headfirst into Lubbock Cooper athletics. You're listening to the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back to the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. I'm with Reilly Gwin and Trevor Burkhead, the 2 Lubbock Cooper soccer coaches. Reilly coaches the boys, and now Trevor Burkhead coaches the girls. Both were part of a team that was 16-6-5 last year, went to the 3rd round against Monterey in what has become, I'm going to say has because I think it's probably still going to be the case, the best boys soccer rivalry in Lubbock. Just the last several years has just been tit for tat, just back and forth. I can remember the COVID year, the last thing I covered in Lubbock was a very cold night out at your place.
Yep.
And I believe if it didn't go to overtime, it was a very competitive match. I just remember being cold and not minding because I got to watch something fun. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Was that we were down 2-0?
Yeah. We scored with about a minute and a half left to win it.
Yeah, that was a fun one. That was one of my favorite games of all time. Yeah.
Because as you know, your friend Simon Hernandez is if you two aren't the 2 most competitive, you're not a boys soccer coach anymore, but if you two weren't the most competitive boys soccer coaches in town, I'm not sure who else was on that list.
Yeah,
so.
I can agree with you on that one. Yeah.
Did you and Simon play against each other?
No, he's a little bit older than me. I won't say how much older, but he's a little bit older than me.
But both, I think it's cool that both of you guys are Lubbock guys.
Right, and we've known each other. Like usually Lubbock soccer, you pretty much know everybody. So.
Well, and you two know each other, and I teased this before we went to the break. Trevor, tell me what you see in the boys already under Reilly that's different from what you coached, but that's better maybe.
Well, and I knew, like, when we were working together, like, we pretty much have the same ideas. We coach kind of the same style, same way. But just being around the guys, like, I've seen 2 of their matches so far, and even at practice, like, he's brought even more of a swagger to the team. Like, he's brought more confidence to him, I think, and like these guys believe in him and what he's doing, and it's showing on the field. Like, he was being modest, but at Joshua, I think they scored 15 goals and allowed 0. Like, that's impressive. And 2 of the teams that he played, we've played at Joshua the past 2 seasons, and he's just going out there doing his thing. And even Monday night against a very good 6A program, they were battling, and like I said, I think the swagger is the biggest thing that those boys have, and the confidence, and it's because of him.
And you said 9 years?
This is my 9th year. This is my 10th year at Cooper, but 12th overall coaching.
But you were the girls' coach for 9, or you
boys.
were the boys'
yes,
coach
sir,
for 9?
Yeah.
Did you ever get to know Greg Sherwood? Are you familiar with that name? He was the LISD athletic director.
The name sounds familiar.
You played
sure.
at Wayland, correct?
Yes, sir.
You played in the stadium that's named after him.
Okay.
Sherwood. Greg was the LISD AD, and he told me once that for a high school coach, your message starts to kind of lose its steam about 10% every year, and that's with parents, fans, and players listening to you. So you were starting to empty the tank a little bit, if that's the
yeah.
But now you get to, I think it's cool that you get to reinvigorate things with girls you probably already knew.
Yes.
Who you'd been around. Reilly, what's he done to breathe a different kind of life into that program? Because Bridget had done an incredible job. You mentioned they went to the regional tournament a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I think something Trevor's kind of brought to that side is, and you had mentioned it early, like defense has been our MO for a long time in our program. And I think he's brought that to the girls program along with this element of toughness and competitiveness and just trying to get after it as much as you can every single day, competing with each other. In practices, just you get a lot more out of them that way. There's just this fierceness, this competitiveness about them, and it's fun to watch.
And I can't remember this young lady's name. I wouldn't throw her under the bus anyway, but during this fall, one of the young ladies, I heard her talking to somebody about a preseason soccer practice. Mm-hmm. And she said, I've got to rest because when I get out to practice, he's going to make us run a lot. So I don't know if that's part of the toughness, but it's, I will say this, soccer athletes, maybe swimming is comparable, but if there's a better conditioned athlete at the high school level, I don't know who it is than a soccer athlete because you're going all the time.
Oh, yeah. And he's the same way. Like, honestly, they probably got a little less from me just straight out running kind of thing, but like the way we set up our practices and like he said, we want them to be competitive. They get a lot of their conditioning when we're practicing because we want them going all out as long as they can, kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Reilly, if you're a guy who moved from a different part of town, something I know Trevor and I have talked about this. When you're an athlete at Lubbock Cooper, you expect to win. You expect to do well, get to the playoffs, and kind of leave a mark. How cool is that to take over a program that expectation is there? You don't have to rebuild anything.
Right. It's an incredible feeling, and it's kind of felt throughout the entire program. Like, I have expectations for the boys, and they have high expectations for themselves and for future teams. And I think they kind of carry that with them as they go through practices and weights and conditioning. They know that there's this expectation to win and do well and perform at high levels. And so I think they're doing a really good job carrying that with them every single day.
And I know Bridget had mentioned that in the girls' programs too, because Kyle Lovern and Jaden Isler have that girls' basketball program at such a high level, because that volleyball program is maybe as good as any in this part of the state now. You get to soccer and they're like, hey, we don't want to be the ones slowing things down. So they've really gotten competitive the last few years. You're taking over a program where there's that expectation as well. Oh,
yeah, for sure. And it's one of those, like I said, that freshman group, they went all the way to the regional tournament when I think we had 8 freshmen starting. And then last year we fell short in the playoffs. And so our goal is definitely to get back there. And honestly, that was one thing I kind of wanted to but really emphasize when I came in. Like, we don't want to just go to playoffs this year. Like, we want to get a district title and then go to the playoffs.
And that's what begins next week for you guys, because in that big 5A district, preseason is pretty small. Yeah. So next week, give me your schedule real quick for next week.
So Monday we'll go to Amarillo, play Paladuro, and then on Friday
Coronado.
We have Coronado, at home. So
same with us. We play Paladuro Tuesday at home, and then Coronado on Friday.
So it gets real quick, real important, real quick for the Lubbock Cooper soccer teams. That's going to wrap us up on the Pirate Fan Zone. We'll be back after the break with the Patriot Fan Zone and Parker Hicks.
Get scammed by the everyday man and call the Parsley Clan with American Roofing. They're local and family